building a fizzer. Both wanna be right, loose side can't cut with one blade in a scissor. Are you willing to go away when I want you to stay?
In a giant sea of cool podcasts, finally comes a podcast that kicks the cool to the curb. Welcome to Kick the Cool. I am your big little brother, Tone.
I'm the little brother, Wopsle.
I'm your big sister, Shishi.
And this is the place that gives you the reviews you did not know you needed. What's up, my nerds?
I love how many people just checked if they accidentally hit the 2 times on their iPod, or
Right.
on their pod listening device.
The iPod.
They're like, I wonder how many people are listening on an iPod.
Pretty fast.
Yeah. I also wonder how many people are listening on their iPod right now. Probably lots.
I heard those iPods are going to take over.
Well,
that's what I heard.
Nope. Don't think so. CDs for me.
You can apparently get some money for them on eBay, and I have a first-gen big old fat iPod, and I'm thinking about seeing how much it would be on there.
That's cool.
Nice. Well, here we are recording on what is basically a snow day for everyone in the world. I've got about probably eight inches out there of snow. And then underneath the snow is a layer of like ice. So whenever you brush off the snow off your car, it's now covered in ice and you get to play with that.
Fun.
Have you guys done any driving yet in this?
I haven't, but you mentioned the ice on the car. Do you guys scrape off the snow, get in the car and just start driving and then realize my car's covered in ice and I can't see out of this thing, but you just kind of keep going?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That seems like us. I figured all of our family kind of is in that together.
Oh, whoops. I guess I have no choice but to keep going now.
Right.
Yeah, I have driven a few times, taking Cameron to work in the morning and getting him in the evening, and it just goes slow. Like it seems like maybe the snow blew away. It was so dry. It just kind of blew off the road because there was a layer, but it was very flat. It wasn't bad at all. So just going really slow. I did still skid out a few times.
Oh,
right.
Yeah. So you got to be careful. Be careful out there, y'all.
I remember one time I was with my ex, Kristen, and we went braved the snowstorm and went to 7-Eleven there on the corner just down a block from our house, and she drove down there, and we're getting back in, and I just decided I'm going to drive. And she was like, I'm driving, I thought. And I was like, well, why can't I drive? She said, because you can't drive on ice. I was like, who told you that? That's not true. Watch this. And I get in, and we pull out and turn right, and immediately hit a giant ice patch, and the car does a big circle in the middle of the
Obviously, nobody told her that. She observed that. So
right.
That big old circle that you can make sometimes is just like both the most freeing and fun and also the most terrifying. You just are like, Jesus, take the wheel, because that's all you can do. And it's like, what else can you do? Nothing. And you're watching people as you're making, like if you're in the city and you got people around, you're making this giant circle and they're watching you coming towards them, and they're just looking. You can tell that they are watching your trajectory and trying to figure out where they should be in relation to where you're going to be. And you're like, I don't know, give them the shrug. I don't know. And of course, it's all happening in slow motion. So you have plenty of time to do nonverbal communication with everyone around you.
Now, meanwhile, I'm doing the thing that is the last thing you should do. I'm just like violently twisting the wheel from one side to the other, just hitting the gas and the brake indiscriminately, like.
Yeah, there's lots of car things where you do, like where it's cold weather, where you do one thing and pretty immediately assume, okay, that must be the wrong thing. So then you do the opposite thing. And so you're turning or you're gassing and braking, or even like with the defrost, like I'm always like, no, okay, it must be cold. So I crank it to cold and I can't see out. And I'm like, well, no, it must be hot. And I crank it to hot and I still can't see out. It's like, well, now I need to crack a window. And then I do that. And it's like, well, no, that was the wrong idea. So roll the window back up. All the while I'm in a full on tailspin, 360 360 and down the middle of the highway. And the console lights coming on inside, the headlights are flapping, and 90s is on the radio, and everyone's like, man, that guy is having a great time driving in the snow. He loves driving in the snow.
Yeah. Look at him. He's having a blast.
Yeah. All cold weather car things are just a series of second guessing yourself to me. It's just nonstop.
Right.
I don't know why, but guys, I'm just going to toot my own horn here. I am a really good bad weather driver. I don't know where it came from. I have a theory. First of all, of course, living out 7 miles on a country road, you kind of get good at lots of different weather conditions. Because if it's a ball game night, you're going no matter what, you know.
Right.
You're going to get there, and you got to go around and pick up your friends along the way. So that's, you know, adding miles to your trip. It doesn't matter what kind of weather it is. But then also, there's a game called Gran Turismo that I used to play obsessively. And for some reason, that game just kind of like when you're playing a racing game of any kind and you see that fishtail, it feels real. And then when you get on the road and you're fishtailing, you know exactly what to do. It's just, it was the weirdest because I lived on a dirt road at that time. I would just go around those curves like I was on, you know, on a Turismo road.
That's probably better because I learned how on Mario Kart, and it's a little bit different.
It's a little different.
That's how
on
I
Mario
drive
Kart.
in real life. Does not translate.
Do you drop mushrooms out the back of your car?
I was about to say, I drive as if I'm in Mario Kart and I just got the star. Just run into everybody.
I've spent so many times waiting on the side of the road. Like, Laquito's got to be here sometime to pick me up, put me back on the road. If I just wait, it'll be fine.
That's AAA in real life.
Right.
Well, you know, we're going to be, I guess, not snowed in, but this is it's going to take days to melt. You know, it's going to be another probably 3 days before it melts, but you know, we'll still be able to get out. It's not terrible, and the road crews, from what I've heard, they did a good job, especially on the main roads. The interstates look really good. So
this was a pretty unique one here in Oklahoma, anyway, where we are, where we had a 71-degree day the day before the snow hit. Mm-hmm. So everyone got to do their preparations pretty solid. The road crews were out working in t-shirts and shorts and really got a head start before
we were able to make sure that no bread was left on the shelves.
Right.
That's right. Or TP. Well, I think that, we've helped a lot of people with that. And I think that we should help people even more. So we always do a listener suggested topic to start things off. So Wopsle, why don't you start us off? What are you reviewing today, sir?
Well, it is February as we're recording this, and it is the month of love. So even though we're not quite to the day of love yet, we are in the month, and I'm feeling it. And so I went through all of our season 2 recommendations and decided we need to we need to review the most romantic suggestion that anybody gave us from season 2. So I'm going through here, and I want to just kind of right off the bat let you know a couple that did not make the cut. In case they were wondering if someone suggested this. So
these are the least romantic?
Well, yeah, these are a few that didn't make the cut. So I just want to make sure that if someone's anticipating that one of the most romantic was going to be the DMV, which was suggested by Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, that one did not make the cut. It's not. We did not deem that one the most romantic.
Awfully close, though. That was a hard decision to make.
It was a hard cut to make. There were a lot of brackets were busted when that one did not make it. Also, oddly, this one was kind of a dark horse. People thought was going to come forward, but dinosaurs also. Jonathan suggested dinosaurs, and I thought if the three of us get into a dinosaurs being romantic kind of situation, I saw more bad than good coming from that conversation.
Well, I have seen a T-Rex pole dancer, so I mean that's pretty romantic.
See, that's exactly where we would have went, right? It's like,
yeah.
So there's several others, but those were the two that were like you might have thought they were going to get there, but sorry to you guys, they did not. Now, I do also want to point out there's a few that were obviously romantic, but were not the most romantic, and so I just kind of want to again, acknowledge how good and romantic they were. Like one, for this is an example. Someone suggested that we review El Caminos, which I mean,
hello,
is pretty hot, right? Like it is
That's
really
sexy.
good.
you got your truck bed all ready to go.
Right. It's like
Right.
it's like your car, but you got your truck bed ready to go. Any car that has a bed in it or on it or
There
in
you
the
go.
name
Yep.
is what you want when it comes to romantic. So we may review El Caminos later, but it's not actually the most romantic. The next one that again we're not. I can't stress this enough. We are not going to review this romantic topic, but I want to acknowledge it's pretty darn romantic, and it is hotel swimming pools.
Okay. Very sexy, very hot.
But yeah, I mean, there's lots going on around there. Hotel swimming pools, the weird thing, I didn't want to talk about the romantic part of it, is because there are like hot, sexy singles in your area and they are at the hotel pool. But also, there's a random family with 8 kids in the other end of the pool. And so there's kind of this like.
Yes. And of course, that mother hen is keeping the mother duck is keeping all her ducklings at that end of the pool away
Yep.
from those horny teenagers.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Every time those kids are glancing at the other end, she's got like another Rice Krispie treat. Like, no, come over here. We still got it. She's pulling stuff out of her purse. She's got airheads and all kinds of stuff to keep them away from the sexy singles at the other end. So,
Right.
so I didn't want to talk about that. So instead, the most romantic, and again, we kind of were going into like the sexy territory, but we're more like romantic, more like that,
Romance,
like
okay.
like the deep, like the heart, not just the looks, not just the vanity, but like romance. So what we are reviewing is, this happens to be another Tom Brady, Michael Jordan joint. So thank you, TJ, for this suggestion. The most romantic one, of course, is movies on beta.
Whoa, that's very romantic.
See, pretty romantic.
Movie night
Right. I mean, movies.
in 1985.
Yeah.
Before there was Netflix and chill.
Yeah. It was beta and chill, right? Where we all remember inviting people over. So, movies on beta. Shishi, what do you remember about movies on beta?
I don't remember. I don't think I ever watched a movie on beta, to be honest. We had Laserdisc. I don't remember ever watching a movie on beta, but maybe at Aunt Vicky's house. I don't know. Did Aunt Vicky have a beta?
Didn't they
beta
have one of
player?
those big disc players?
They had a
those
Laserdisc
big
player.
discs? Yeah, Laserdisc.
But beta is a big tape, like a big cassette
Yeah.
tape. Right? Am I remembering that right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's either
Okay.
like a big cassette tape or it's like a small VCR tape.
Like, I think it was called Betamax.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Tony, do you remember watching one, or do you remember anything about, did you ever interact with a beta movie?
I remember that we had a beta player for a little while, not too long.
Didn't we rent it
But-
though? I thought we rented it.
Mm.
Well, I thought that we ended up buying one that like didn't work or something, and then it just sat there amongst our other VCRs.
We were gonna fix it probably.
Yeah.
We did have like a quadruple decker sandwich of VCRs and Betamax players and automatic rewinders. Just
Now
stacked up ready
I
to
have
go.
that in laptops in my closet. I have a double decker. I have a Dagwood of laptops in my closet.
Dagwood of laptops.
Mm-hmm.
Is that kind of like a murder of crows? That's
Sort
how
of,
you-
yeah.
The technical term, the scientific term.
So, Tony, did I hear you say that you didn't remember watching a beta movie either?
That's correct.
But we owned a machine.
Right.
I feel like we probably
tracks.
did watch it, and it was just like no big deal, so it didn't stick. That's what I feel like.
What I remember is that we did not have obviously the title selection that we had for VHS.
Uh-huh.
Right? Like I'm sure that we only had like Hello Dolly and that was it, so
I love it that you went to Hello Dolly, because that actually was our first VHS tape
it
ever.
was our
Yeah.
very first.
Yeah.
But and that was before anybody had.
Mm-hmm.
We were the first people to have VHS.
Well, and that's what, to maybe to our mother's credit, like our family's always kind of been early adopters. Like we were by far the first person to have a computer in our house that I knew of, and the bad thing about early adopters is sometimes you end up with a Betamax or a Laserdisc and it very quickly is stupid that you have that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
Not worth your money at all.
But what I found the interesting part is there's still new movies coming out on beta for some reason, according to the internet, according to IMDb. Like, what are some definite movies that came out on beta? Like, what are some that you know for sure are out there?
Kramer versus Kramer.
Yes.
The Dirty Dozen.
Yeah.
Okay, see, you guys can help me. I was thinking Overboard, but you guys both did like some serious
Yeah, that one
ones.
too.
You think Overboard's
Yeah,
definitely
maybe.
on there?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I would be surprised if it wasn't.
What do you think, Wopsle?
Well, again, I guess what I was trying to say is I don't know that any romantic movies came out on beta. I think that they were all serious courtroom dramas or Overboard, which like watched with modern day like realizations is so bad and sketchy.
So bad and yes,
terrible.
terrible.
I mean, it's not romantic at all. You're just like wanting the cops to come in any minute to arrest this guy. So I think movies on beta is a big no for me when it comes to romance, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Oh no. Oh no. I mean, whenever the most romantic you get is Kramer versus Kramer, that's pretty sad.
Yes.
The first movie ever to be solely about divorce.
You invite a girl over, you're like, hey, let's pop in this Kramer versus Kramer. And it's just a sad movie about divorce, and then you never hear from her again.
Well, here's one that's probably romantic, but I don't remember it. It's called Tulips, and on the cover is a man and a woman having dinner, and it's from 1981. So I think that's probably the only romantic type movie on Betamax.
Okay. What's it
That's what
called
I've
again?
decided. Tulips.
Tulips.
Tulips. Tiptoe through the tulips.
Oh, it has Bernadette Peters and Gabe Kaplan in it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that is good. I'll have one more suggestion. Apparently, Crocodile Dundee came out on Betamax. And if that ain't romantic,
Yes.
then I don't know what romance is. I'm going to have
We
to
did it.
call it out because that's it.
We did it. Yes.
Pick up your Betamax, pick up Crocodile Dundee, and watch it. That's romance.
Oh, and bring that engagement ring because you're going to be.
Guys,
Man.
you go to if you search on eBay romance Betamax, you will find some tapes. Same time next year. I love that movie.
Whoa.
That's a great
Really?
movie. 1979.
I
Yeah.
remember that one
That's a good romantic movie. I think it's
on Betamax.
yes. I don't remember who's in it. I'm looking at him and I don't recognize him because it's all 70s out. 70s out. Now, Ruth Westheimer has a terrific sex Betamax tape
Yeah, but
for
we're
sale
not
for
really
only
talking about that.
$75. I mean, that's romantic.
Cow.
$75 is not very romantic, right? Making me pay that much to get down with some chicks.
Hey guys, how about Reckless 1984 high school rebel romance comedy?
A rebel romance.
Reckless from 1984.
It's the only kind of romance I
I
know
remember
about.
that.
A lot of alliteration there.
Okay. Or
Well-
the most romantic movie of all time, Casablanca.
Was that
Was
on beta?
Christian Slater in the movie, the last movie you said there?
No,
the Reckless?
it
Was
looks
Christian Slater in
like.
that? Okay.
Let's see, who is it? No, I don't recognize these people. But I think there
Which is
was
a
I think
good
there was a
sign.
song. Oh wait, let's see. Reckless, Aiden Quinn and Daryl Hannah. What? I don't recognize them.
Wow.
They're so young.
Oh man.
Okay.
Well, here's
I'm done with my list.
I think we've helped people with their Valentine's Day plans. It's got to include a movie on beta, and time is running out to make that happen. So
Mhm.
everyone's going to get on that. Maybe they can share their beta and their movie on social media with us. But until they
Yeah.
do that, then it's time for us to rate movies on beta, the most romantic topic of all. So Shishi, what do you rate this?
I'm gonna have to rate romantic movies on Betamax 2002, which is when they stopped making Betamax tapes.
Oh,
If you can believe it.
That is, I mean, that was 19 years ago. So,
Shut your mouth.
oh, actually, yeah.
well, 20 years ago. Yeah.
Okay, fair enough, Tone. That's a good point. Okay, Tone, what do you rate movies on Betamax?
Movies on Betamax. I'm going to say 4 out of 5 times that your girlfriend gets mad because you're in love with Bernadette Peters. 4 out of 5 times she's mad. I think that's pretty romantic.
It's pretty romantic times. It's a lot of times. Okay, well, I am going to rate movies on Betamax. Since we've all just been Googling lists of movies that came out on Betamax, one that came up to me that was very romantic, I'm going to rate it $1.95, which is how much Seymour paid for Audrey 2 in what to me was the most romantic movie growing up that you guys forced me to watch, and now is part of my problem.
Silent Simon.
He saved her from the cool guy with the leather jacket that was terrible. Seymour saved her.
You know that was Steve Martin, right?
Yeah, but he was.
Oh, okay. I didn't know how recently you watched it.
That was the least romantic part about that movie, though. The
Yes.
Steve Martin part.
Yeah, seriously.
Give me a chance. Okay, it's official. We can do the rest of the show. Just focus solely on Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes.
I think
Yes.
that everything's going to come back to that. Okay, so let's move on to our next topic, or our next review, which, real quick, we're going to squeeze in on one of our newest segments, the biggest one that everyone's such a fan of. It's called It's the Name of the Week. 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 Yeah.
Woo!
It's the name of the week. This week's name is Ronaldo. It's the name of the week. It's the name of the week. It's the name of the week. And that was it's the name of the week.
Oh,
And now we'll move on to Shishi with our second review of the day. Shishi, what do you have for us?
I would like to introduce a new segment called the Complaint Department. I do not have a theme song because I just made it up. And really, it's just a chance for me to complain about things.
get him, she.
I got a lot of stuff to complain about today.
Let him
Cold
have
feet, don't get me started. Okay? When the shower curtain drifts in and sticks to your leg, oh my God,
Oh no.
I hate that. But the one thing that I really want to focus on with my complaint this week is Windows 11. So, Tony, do you have any complaints about Windows 11?
I hate the start menu. The new start menu, it used to have, you could customize where you wanted everything and move it all around. And I would put everything in folders and groups. And now you can't do any of that anymore. So what's the purpose of the start menu now?
Yeah. What the heck?
I'm pretty mad.
Wopsle, what do you think about Windows 11? Sucks, right?
I'm over it. I'm like, why do they keep changing things? Why don't you, hey, Windows people, hey, Microsoft, I have a great idea. Make the current version better. Try giving that a try for once in your life.
Yeah.
Don't give me a whole new version that's way worse. Just make the current one better.
Can I just tell you, okay, I've been around a while, okay? As Wopsle said earlier, we are early adopters of technology historically. So we've been through a lot of operating systems, right? And it's just like, usually I can tell why they did what they did. This time, it just seems punitive because you put your cursor down at the bottom on the left-hand side because you're going to click that start menu, right? You're going to click the Windows button to get your menu up. Well, no, it's not there. Then you stare dumbly at a blank space before you remember that you have to go over to the middle of your screen to click the same freaking button. Why? Why did they move it to the middle? There was no reason. There was no reason. I'm waiting for an answer.
We might have to get in contact with Bill. I know that he's a little shy, gun shy after that one 5-star review Sherry did, but
That broke up
I
their
think-
marriage.
Yeah. And of course they are getting a divorce. So.
Again, sorry.
But no, the thing about the taskbar being in the middle, there's a button you can switch to. If you switch it on, it sticks it over to the left again.
Where?
So in the settings, just go into settings and you'll find it.
See?
There needs to be one big
Why?
check mark box in the settings that says, make it sort of like it used to be, at least for a little while.
Right.
Thank
Let
you.
me get my bearings. I'm coming in from the other space, and knowing that, help me figure out where stuff is. What if there was a button that said, put the start menu in the bottom left, but move it to the right 4 pixels per day. So that eventually it'll be in the middle, but I won't notice that you moved it.
Please, Windows, please. Microsoft, do this for us in every aspect, please. Wouldn't that be just great? Oh man, you're a genius, Wopsle.
That is
I'm
genius.
glad that I fixed it. Yeah, that's a good idea.
You remember the Windows 8 debacle? They throw out Windows 8. They force you to get it. It's completely different because they have configured it for touch screens and phones and things,
Right.
so they can just use it on all devices. I understand why they did it, but then when you so you're a Windows user, you're used to having a taskbar and this and that. Just you know where things are. Every version up to this point has been very similar to that format. You get to Windows 8 and you're looking at a blank screen.
Right.
Then you have to know to swipe in or click in the corners to bring up different menus. You have to know this somehow. Nowhere did it tell me to do this. Right. So there was such an uproar that finally they brought back, first of all, they had apps that you could, independent people were making that you could download to put the start button back on your desktop.
Right.
And then finally Windows was like, oh, okay, 8.1, here's your Windows button again. Because everybody was so mad about it. I mean,
yeah, 8.1 they had to go they basically had to go ahead and fix it to where it was still basically like Windows 7.
It was compatible with the people that where things are. I mean, it was just like there was no instructions with it. It was just dumb. So anyway, I feel like they've kind of learned their lesson. Windows 11 is not like that, but still, people, you don't have to. Yeah, so it seems punitive. That's all.
Yeah,
that's all.
I do love when an operating system has you staring blankly at the screen, not knowing what to do. Like, real choice, buddies. Like, you guys nailed it.
Right.
When we don't know what to do, that must have been your goal.
Don't give me any clues. Whatever you do, I don't want to hear any, spoilers.
Yeah.
I got to figure this out. And hey, that's the great thing about it is that this was all a test by Microsoft to find out and see who could figure out, stuff without a guide.
Right. And I will say that I had not up to that point used a tablet or a smartphone. So when it came out, I didn't know the swiping stuff. I didn't have any idea. So maybe if I'd had that background, I would have thought, oh, okay, it's probably a hidden menu that you have to get to a different way. But I didn't know that.
We just talked about Wordle. If someone else brings up Wordle and I haven't done it yet that day, I'm like, whoa, no, I'm not done. Like, don't ruin it. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's the same thing with Windows 11. People that can get into it now, but if you're new to it, you're like, oh, no, I haven't cracked the code. I don't want any spoilers. I'm still trying to figure it out. I clicked on this one thing that brought up a menu that I've never seen before. I can't find the settings, but as soon as I figure it out, then we'll talk about it and compare notes. I think that's kind of what they were going for, probably.
Right.
Like an escape room.
By the way,
an involuntary escape room. Hey, now all of your files are hidden somewhere in this escape room.
Yeah. You got to get it by the deadline.
Yep.
Your report's due Monday.
By the way, you talked about Wordle, and on our last episode, we talked about Wordle, but I didn't find this out until this morning. There is a new version of that game out called Lewdle, Lewdle.
Oh, no.
And what it is, it's lewd words instead of just your normal words.
Oh, no.
So go check that out, guys. Go search for that online.
I'm going to write that down. That's funny. That's
There's
funny.
also-
It's pretty typical that you're the one that found that too.
I also found an 11 character Wordle where the word instead of 5 characters, it's 11 characters.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
It took me about a week and a half to come up with one word that was 11 characters long. And it wasn't the right one. And I got a few right and a few wrong. And then I was like, now I have to figure out a second word. It's exactly 11 characters. And I still haven't found one yet.
Okay, well, I think that I've complained enough about Windows 11. So I think if nobody has any other complaints that they'd like to bring forward to the complaint department.
Is this kind of like airing your grievances?
Yeah, air your grievances. Let's do that.
Oh, man.
I got one. We got no more snow days. It's everything's distance learning days. It's like, hey, let's go sledding. No, we have to do science first. Oh, is it cool science? No, it's boring science on paper. Also, I have this thing called Studies Weekly that we did the first day. I was like, cool, now we're done. No, we have one every day. We have to do a Studies Weekly every single day of a snow day. I'm over it.
We got snow days. I don't know why. I guess they were worried we would lose electricity or something, but we got snow days.
Well, good for you. I'm mad.
All right, so we got to rate Windows 11. That's really what we're talking about here. So, Tony, give me a rating for Windows 11, please.
All right. I'm going to rate Windows 11 4 out of 5 Bill Gates divorces.
Oh, my gosh. I already feel bad enough that I broke them up. Wopsle, what do you rate Windows 11?
This one's easy for me. I got to rate Windows 11. Windows XP.
Yeah.
Because that was the last one I used. And I got on with you, Shi. I can be salty about Windows 11, but I haven't used Windows since 2004. So
yeah, well, I'm sure you have plenty of trauma built up from your years of Windows that you can just, it all still applies. All of it.
How I felt back then, it's just the same thing again.
Yeah.
And there are people who right now are using Windows XP because they still believe it's the best version of Windows.
I didn't hate it. I remember whenever I switched to Mac OS, I was very sad to leave Windows XP. It treated me right.
So, okay, I am going to have to rate Windows 11 windows that I do not want to look through.
Okay, what about this? What if we released something? I'm not sure what it would do, but it's for people that don't like Windows 11, and it's called curtains. It would do something. It would help or change things. I don't know really what, but there's something there.
Dude, you're on fire today with the new ideas.
That's a great idea.
I got great ideas. It's all this
Look out, everybody.
Studies Weekly's really got my brain juices flowing well. I got all the good ideas.
Yes, I love it. All right. Well, that was a great topic. We helped a lot of people. Thank you.
That was kind of romantic as well. I can't believe we got
pretty
too romantic. Yeah.
Well, anytime you involve Bill Gates, it's going to get a little romantic.
Right.
Ooh, I'm blushing.
We have to do something very important, and that is we need to go make some money. Mm-hmm. In order to make some money, there's one very simple thing we have to do. We have to go to the 5-star review and act like we actually have sponsors. So let's go to the 5-star review.
5 stars!
Yeah.
When you're left with a stain, you're so just fed up that you gotta complain. Write a letter, you'll feel better.
All right. Well, thank you very much for coming with us to the 5-star review. This week's 5-star review is brought to us by Cheez-It.
Cheez-It.
And which is a thing, but it's also a command. Cheez-It. Now, they're sponsoring this episode, and all they ask is that we recite their catchphrase, which is just throw a Cheez-It up in there.
Just throw a Cheez-It up in there.
Just throw a Cheez-It up in there.
Yeah. That's all they really wanted, and now they'll give us money.
I'd rather get paid in Cheez-Its.
Right. We don't want money. We actually want Cheez-Its. Because, I remember, this is an insider's take. I think that Cheez-It has leaned into this catchphrase because they want people to use Cheez-Its for things other than eating.
Snacking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Like the other day, I needed an oil change, but I didn't really have the time to go do it. I just threw a Cheez-It up in there, and it was pretty good. It's fine.
That's the thing is they've realized that how many more options there are of what you can actually do with a Cheez-It or not do with a Cheez-It, and they've figured out, and that's why they're like, hey, when in doubt, come on, you know what to do.
Just throw a Cheez-It up in there.
Yep.
Throw a Cheez-It up in there.
I got to the store the other day and realized that I didn't have my mask with me, so I just threw a Cheez-It up in there. I felt better, but everybody else was still mad at me.
All right, well, thanks, Cheez-It.
Yeah, thanks, Cheez-It.
Thanks, Cheez-It.
Throw a Cheez-It up in there.
Let's get to the final review of the day. And for this one, we're going to do a new segment. I know that we've already, had several segments. This is kind of like becoming an episode of segments, but we have a new segment that does not have a theme song, but it's very simply called Let's Get Zany. Now, the word zany is something different. You've never heard anything like that word. And I want you to think about, what does zany mean to you, okay? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to count to 3, and we're all going to just get as zany as possible.
Okay.
Right.
I want you to take it to the extreme, as zany as you can. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go zany.
We are two wild and crazy guys.
Whoa, zany. Whoa.
Hey, are we ready for observations real quick?
Yeah, let's jump into the observations.
Because what hit me is zany is so much more visual than audio, than an audio situation.
Yeah.
It is.
Because I was doing wacky inflatable arms guy, like outside the tire shop over here.
Yes.
But you didn't know that.
No,
I could tell.
Oh yeah,
I
maybe
can
you
hear
did
it.
know. Yeah, maybe everybody did know that. So that's my first observation.
And I was doing the shoulder shimmy that, Steve Martin does when he's saying his wild and crazy guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because Steve Martin is zany to me. He is zany.
Exactly. And I agree. He is the definition of zany, but I was doing it a little different. I've never seen Steve Martin go surfing, but I was surfing and I was getting so zany.
Oh.
You wouldn't believe.
So zany.
So zany.
So zany.
Kick the cool. It's
Let's
so
get
zany.
I love that. I'm going to start using that a lot. It's
What,
so
so
zany.
Well, and it's a pretty. Is there anything else anybody wanted to say about this new thing?
Well,
Because that's all I had. Wopsle, do you have anything else you'd like to say about Let's Get Zany?
Well, I do have one more thing I want to say is, of course, it's always fun to see, like, even if you know what a word means, sometimes it's helpful to see what the actual definition is. Like, how is it stated?
mm-hmm.
And so the definition of zany is idiosyncratic. What? I don't have a clue what that word means. And it doesn't, there's no way that zany is that.
Idiosyncrasies, I think, are differences, right? Like, isn't that what that means? Wouldn't you use that in, like, the idiosyncrasies between two things are the differences between those two things?
Right.
Well, that's
So
zany, is what Google says.
Is that
Okay.
zany? Okay.
There's
seem
it's
zany at
missing
all.
the fun aspect. You have brown eyes and I have blue eyes. That's so zany.
That is so zany.
Woo!
Whoa. I'm surfing.
So I would define it as a frenetic, chaotic, demeanor.
Okay.
That is what I would define it as.
Okay. I like that. I would define it as, oops, I just had the most fun I've ever had. That's how I define it. In the dictionary, it says that.
Madcap. If you need a synonym, madcap is a great synonym for zany. I believe.
That is.
Okay.
Now, I would like to
words.
challenge you guys. I would like to challenge you guys that we now know we've defined zany. We've illustrated it in our own way. Now I want you to reevaluate, and we're gonna go zany one more time. You ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Let's get zany.
I have blue eyes. Fingers more than yours. I'm wearing socks, and you're not.
Yay! We did it. I was doing a pistons
wait,
firing.
Tone.
Oh yeah.
Can we go into observations now?
Yes, let's go into
Okay.
observations.
Okay, go
by
ahead.
the way.
You go ahead and start, Tone.
My first observation is during that moment, I was pistoning my arms like they were two pistons alternating, and I was going chug, 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 chug. And that was as zany as I could get.
It's pretty zany, yeah. Yeah.
What were you doing there, She?
Well, I was doing a siren, and so I was sirening my body as well. If you can imagine what that is.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I was just kind of doing a little dance. The dance you might not would call zany, where I just described 3 different things that I am doing or have that other people might not. Just idiosyncrasies.
I thought I caught a little of that at the end.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I talked about my blue eyes. I talked about my number of fingers, and then the fact that I'm wearing socks. So, just like zany idiosyncrasies about me and differences
Did you say
between other people.
something like I have 5 fingers and you have 4, or something?
Well, I'm not.
Just
We're gonna have to run the tape back on that because I definitely panicked on that one after I talked about the number of fingers I have. I was like, that might not be as zany as I thought.
I can't wait to hear this back. It's hard to be zany at the same time as someone else is being zany.
It is.
It's like
know.
when you're zany, it's kind of all encompassing. You are really into your zany.
Mm-hmm.
It's so zany.
You know what's really impressive is I remember whenever we reviewed the word literally, and I remember the first thing we said was, boy, this word's going to get old fast. We got to not say it as often as we want to because literally we're going to say it too much. That is not happening right now with the word zany.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's standing the test of time here. It's fine. I like it.
Okay, you know what I have to do is go and see when it came into the lexicon.
Now that's zany. This is gonna be zany, guys.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be
Yeah.
zany.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Okay, we're going to see. Somebody give me a drum roll. Okay. Oh, it doesn't give me a time, but it's from the Middle French Zany, from Italian Zany, which is a kind of a masked clown character.
What?
So, and they are talking about there's the masked clown characters in Italy in 1932. So it's possible that this is a very old word. It seems like a new word, doesn't it?
It does. No one uses it.
Yeah.
And I think that we have to, I believe that we probably have already changed, and done our own butterfly effect because now everyone's going to say it. So
Doesn't it seem like zany was good for like in the 60s, like in the 70s, like Andy Kaufman and
right.
what was that one show with Goldie Hawn? Laugh House? No,
Laugh in.
Laugh In. That's
Yes, that
zany
was
to
a
me.
zany,
The camera
yes.
going in and out.
Yeah.
That's
That's
zany.
as zany as you can get right there.
Yeah.
I kind of think this might be our moment where, like, Bill and Ted style, people are going to come from the future and find us and be like, you guys brought back zany. And it saved humanity because of this moment. And we're going to
Oh,
be
I
like, we
believe
didn't know it
it's
was
gonna
that big
happen.
of a deal, but it's going to end up being the biggest of deals.
Yep. Actually, what's going to happen is they're going to go find us when we are like 10 years ago and like, you need to do a podcast so you can save the world. But they're not going to tell us what's going to save the world with our podcast. And we have to figure it out.
Right. And then our podcast will be called something about saving the world instead of
Yep.
kicking the cool.
Yep.
Instead of kicking the cool.
Well, let's kick the cool on out of here. Wopsle, why don't you rate the segment? Let's get zany. Zany.
Zany. You know, just reading through everything on Google about Zany is definitely well worth your time. So this is the example sentence that that Google gave me that I think is the most appropriate. I'm just kind of ripping off Google's ratings, which why haven't we done that before? That would be way easier. Just have Google and like, you know, what's it
3
called?
for 3.
Like
Great
Yelp.
ideas.
Just Yelp like up and just say what the actual rating is. But here's my rating. My brother's friends are an unpredictable bunch of zanies. We didn't even go that route. Calling someone a zany.
A zany.
A zany.
But that's what Google told me to do. So that's what I rate it. A bunch of unpredictable zanies.
Wow. Okay.
That's really good. Okay. Shishi, why don't you
thank
rate
you.
it for us?
I'm going to have to rate zany 3 sockatumies.
That is zany.
Nobody else
That
knows
is.
what that means because I'm old. That is a laughing reference, youngsters.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to rate zany. Wait, what is the name of this?
Let's get zany.
Let's Get Zany. Yeah. I'm going to have to rate Let's Get Zany 4 out of 5 fake arrows through the head.
Oh, it's so zany. Holy cow, is that zany?
I love that one.
That's a good zany one
good.
right there. All right. Well, I think we've done what we came here to do, folks.
Apparently.
It's about damn time.
We would like to thank all of the many people that sent in the very, very romantic topics that we only got to a few of them today. But if you would like for your topic, romantic or otherwise, to be featured on a future episode, we would love some fresh season 3 ones. Send it to us at reviews@kick.cool and you might be on next week.
Oh, yeah. And also, we want to thank the band Bugs for letting us use the song Reviews as our theme song. They have a new album that just came out. It's called Cooties. And you can go to just Google. What? Why are we laughing?
Because they're just so
It's called
cute.
Cooties?
Bugs, cooties. It's hilarious.
I agree. I love it. And you can buy that online. Just search for Bugs Cooties. And you can buy that online. So go pick up a copy of that.
Oh, man, I love them.
All right. Well, until next week, I'm Tone.
I'm Wop.
I'm Sheep.
Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye.
See you guys. See you. Thanks for coming out.
You'll feel better.
I have one more.
Uh-huh.
I pee my pants when I sneeze and cough, so I just threw a Cheez-It up in there. It didn't help.
It did not help. Let me be very clear.
You don't have to put that in. That was just for you guys.